Hello, and welcome back to yet another board game channel, where we will be playing yet another turn, probably our last, of Mansions of Madness, 2nd edition, the Cycle of Eternity scenario. Boy, that last episode was long, wasn't it? Yeah. I didn't quite expect that second turn to go quite so long as it did. To make up for it, though, I'm pretty sure this is going to be a short one. Because Dexter is on death's door, and if we lose him and can't get anything done, or get everything fixed, to solve the whole thing, by the end of the turn on which he dies, we're just going to lose. So, alright, we'll continue our game and switch over to the board. Alright, back at the board, and yes, mistakes were made last turn, both rule-wise and strategy-wise. I pointed out one of the rule ones in text of the video when Dexter was evading, or when he was picking things up in the spot where he was with the monster. He should have evaded. Can't go back and do it again. I suspect I made a couple of other little errors. Strategic error was probably just barreling into this, because now I'm surrounded by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 monsters. So the odds, yeah, we're outnumbered 2 to 1. Oh well, we'll soldier on and see if we can get anything done. Let's start with Mandy, because she's actually close to a goal. So, the first thing, we need to do something. We need to try to disrupt the ritual. So we're going to have her move into that space, and of course, we're just going to have to evade this to get into that space. Then to do either of those things, either pick up the sledgehammer or interact with the token, she'll have to evade the cultist in the space. So, okay, first things first, time to evade, yes, Vanderbilt. See what it says, resolve and evade check, yes. Vanderbilt begins to babble incoherently in your direction. A lore test that requires 2 successes. Mandy's lore is 4. Let's remind myself of her equipment to see if anything else. Nope. Once per round, she may reroll 1 die. So we just need 2. Okay. We got the 2 success. On the 4 dice, if you pass, you recognize the words as mindless ravings. Take that, Vanderbilt. If you fail, all right. So she gets to move here. Now, second action, we've got to decide if we want to try to pick up the sledgehammer so we can start wailing, or let's just tap the item to see what the token and see. Ritual circle is carved into the ground and scattered with components. You attempt to retrieve the ritual components, but a malign energy protects them. So, for a second action, we could try to disrupt the ritual or pick up that sledgehammer. Well, even if she picks up the sledgehammer, she can't do anything with it. She won't have a second action, so we might as well try to disrupt the ritual. However, to do that, first, we have to avoid the cultist. The cultist grabs your collar and attempts to swing you round. Strength check of 2. Oh boy. And her strength is 2. We have no clues, and we can re-roll a grand total of 1 die. So that is a fail. If you pass, you pull away. If you fail, you cannot escape. Forfeit your action. That is it for Mandy's turn. not much happening there. Alright, so now we're going to switch over to Dexter, who I think is just going to have to try to come over to us. Hopefully not get hurt even remotely on the way. He's focused anyway, and he's going to have to evade, but he does have the Elder Sign Pendant, which I suspect I was forgetting about in previous evades. He gets to roll an additional die while evading. So, we see who he's going to evade. It's going to be the highest evade number is... It's going to be one of the witches. It doesn't much matter which one. So I will choose one of the witches to evade. Because let's face it, he's not going to be able to take them down. Or should he fight them? Hold on, let me just check to see what kind of hit points everything in that space has. Oh, he's also got the Ghost, which I don't think he'll be able to do anything about. Yeah, everything's got 3 hit points, and nothing has been hurt. So they're all at their full 3 hit points. Oh, what to do, what to do. Alright, let's just evade. Let's see if we can get out of here and move 2 spaces. And he won't be able to. He'd be able to move another 2. If we can get him to successfully move twice, he'll run away from all of those. Alright, evading. Just commit. The witch reaches for you with fingernails like talons. Agility, 3 successes. This is it. Yeah, because he's only got 3 agility, and he has no clues. And he's got the cigarette case, which will convert a single clue result into a success. So, oh my god. We're going to use that this round and turn that into a success. He gets away. If you pass, you slip away. 1, 2. Right. And he's wounded. Oh, heck. Take that back. Dexter can't move. Okay, fine. He's going to attack them. He has 0 choice. Well, he could try to instill bravery to get some horror back, but him going insane is not as bad as him dying. So yes, you will just choose one of the witches to attack using his knife, bladed weapon. Your foe catches your stab and you struggle to push the blade a final few inches while the figure struggles to turn the blade on you. Strength, 2 successes, and he's got 3. Oh, and he didn't actually use the cigarette case because we canceled that action. And okay, we got 2. You actually got 2. If you pass, your foe's strength wavers and the sharp edge slices its flesh. The monster suffers damage equal to the weapon's damage. Oh, that's all, eh? Okay. 1 damage to that witch. Let's attack it again. Attack with a bladed weapon. Once more. You swap your weapon from hand to hand. Ooh, fancy. Circling your foe and looking for an opening. Dexter's going to cut you, man. When you find one, you lunge forward with diabolical speed. Agility +1. And... oh. Yeah, the monster is just going to suffer damage equal to the test result. So, 4 dice. Come on, Dex. Okay, we're going to use the cigarette case now to turn that into 2 so that we can do 2 damage to that witch and take her off the board. That was... okay, just going to switch token to that. Alright. That is that. I think this is going to be it. Into the Mythos phase. The cheap item snaps as Dexter Drake tries to lift it. Unfortunately, it is now completely useless. Dexter discards 1 random common item. That's going to be the Elder Sign Pendant, the knife, or the Lucky Cigarette Case. Oh, and by the way, he is no longer restrained. He was also dazed, but it didn't matter because he didn't have clues to spend. Alright, here we go. Let's do not looking as I shuffle. And, okay, and what do we lose? The Lucky Cigarette Case. And that's discard, not drop. We can't get it back, so we do still have the knife and the Elder Sign Pendant. But now, Vanderbilt moves 2 spaces towards the nearest investigator. Then it attacks the investigator in the space with the lowest agility. Well, that's going to be Mandy. Monster attacks. Vanderbilt hooks 1 arm around you, then pounds with fist and knee over and over. A jerk. Suffer 3 damage. Negate with strength. Her strength is 2. Except, at the moment, Mandy has no damage. How did this happen? How did Dexter end up taking everything? Alright. That was... well, okay, do I want to... once per round you may re-roll 1 die. Well, we might as well. I've only got the end of this to get it up. Didn't matter. So she's going to take 3 damage. Alright, first of all... oh good, minor injury. Only a flesh wound. Turn face down. Grievous injury. You clutch at the wound and your hand comes away red with blood. Suffer 1 additional face down damage, then flip this card face down. So here's the additional one. Minor injury, well that's good. No additional effect. And finally the third that she should have gotten from Vanderbilt. Gut shot. All the breath leaves your body in a whoosh as the blow catches you in the stomach. You wheeze and gasp for air. Become stunned, then discard this card. Stunned. Cannot perform more than a single action during her next turn. Alright. Next up, the witch moves up to 2 spaces to be within range of as many investigators as possible. She's fine where she is, and it attacks the investigator. Doesn't matter which one, it's just him. The witch speaks, and you hear 1,000 alien voices speaking too. Lore, 2 successes. Well, fortunately, his lore is a whopping 5. This is his forte. Come on, Dex, get 2. You useless. We got... no. He rolled over as I moved, but he only got 1. If you fail, you stand dumbfounded as a wandering star streaks from the sky above to slam into you. How does that happen? Suffer 2 damage. Dexter is down. we have until the end of Mandy's turn to fix this. I don't think it's going to happen. So long, Dexter. Ah. The ghost moves one space toward the nearest investigator. There we go. Okay, no investigators in the space. The spirit calls out, but there's no one to hear it. The spirit vanishes and reappears elsewhere. It moves to the nearest space within range of an investigator. Well, that would be either here or here. Just put it there because there's a lot more room. Then the cultist would move, but he's in the same space. Cultist is going to attack. The cultist swings a staff, trying to dislodge one of your items. Agility, 1 success. 1 success. Good. If you pass, you twist your body just in time. We still suffer 1 face down damage. Mandy might die. This is very not good. Now it's going to be Eugene's turn. Moves 2 spaces towards the nearest investigator. Nothing about range. Boy, this is crowded. It then attacks. Eugene lifts a jagged piece of glass and rushes forward, rapidly swiping at your throat and eyes. Suffers 3 damage. Negate with agility, which is 3. She blocks 1 because she has no clues and has already used the Lucky Rabbit's foot. So she gets 2 more damage. 1. Just a scratch. No effect. Oh, yeah, you thought the wound was much deeper than it is. No effect. Discard the card. That's good. And the second one is another minor injury. Flip face down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. She didn't quite... oh dear, she's wounded too. I completely lost track. So 1 more damage on her, and it would have been an instant loss. Which might still happen, because she now needs to do horror checks for all of these guys. Alright, start with Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt begins to whistle a quiet melody. Suddenly you feel the sting of salt spray in your eyes, and you are struck with an intense thirst. Will check, 2 successes needed. Oh, right, she's got the cross, so she gets an extra die. That would be a fail. If you fail, you begin to sweat and shudder as a wave of nausea strikes you. Suffer 1 horror and drop a random item. First of all, the horror. Oh, just a minor shock, so no additional effect. Flip it face down. So, not looking as I shuffle. And she's just going to drop it. She drops the Holy Cross. Best thing she had going for her. Alright, so that's in space. We have the sledgehammer. Next, the witch is not within range. The ghost is, thanks to its little teleporting trick. The spirit flickers in front of you, whispering, "Tell me a story." Gah. Influence check. 2 successes. Her influence is 4. We need 2. We got 3. If you pass, you spin a tail off the top of your head. A horse walks into a bar. Okay. Then the cultist. You notice the cultist's skin ripple and churn, caused by some worm-like creatures flowing within him. Suffer 1 horror, negate with will. Her will is now just her normal 3 because she dropped her cross in fright. 3 6. Why can I not roll this when necessary? These dice are cursed. Anyhow, that's fine. That doesn't affect her. And what does Eugene do? Eugene smiles and bears a long row of sharp teeth. Flip one horror face up, then suffer one face down horror. No defending against it. Alright, we are shuffling her horror. We flip over the minor shock. No additional effect. Flip face down. And then she takes one more face down. So she's halfway to insane, which doesn't matter so much because she's almost dead. Alright. Somehow we survived that. So really, this is our last turn. Period. No matter what, because Dexter is gone. So she's going to have to try to disrupt the ritual. Which means she will have to do an evade check. Against, okay, it'll be either the Child of Dagon or the Priest of Dagon. So Eugene or Vanderbilt we have to evade. Who shall we do? Let's do, I think we get to choose here. Yeah, let's do Eugene. Let's evade Eugene. You duck under the grotesque's grasping hands. Agility, 2 successes. We have 3. Oh, she can use her Lucky Rabbit's Foot again because we are into a new round. We need 2. If you fail, the cold and clammy hands grab you, suffer 1 face-down horror, and forfeit your action. As she is stunned, she cannot perform any other actions, which means it's the end of her turn, which means we are done. We are now going to, unfortunately, resolve the investigator eliminated option and lose the game. Let's have a look. Game ends at the end of the next investigator phase. Yep, that's what happened. End game.
The loss of your fellow investigator leaves the group in shambles. You struggle to continue the investigation, but the loss of your ally proves devastating. You flee the scene, leaving the matter unresolved. The injuries you have suffered and the traumas you have endured will never truly heal. The knowledge of the dark things that lurk in this world and your failure to halt their machinations will haunt you for what little remains of your miserable life.
The end. Back to the title screen. Oh well. Sorry guys, I didn't save the world, or this family, or what have you. Okay. Let's examine why I didn't succeed. First of all, I think this is actually harder when you have less investigators. Although the monsters themselves are weaker, they have lower hit points. I think it's also helpful to have a whole bunch of investigators so you can just spread out and start doing all kinds of investigating. Because another thing that I think contributed to the loss is just not slowing down and investigating enough, because investigations often give you clues, and the clues would have been a great help considering all the absolutely terrible rolling that was going on. So I think next time I play this, I'm just going to use however many investigators I want. And just use the single-player insanity options, though, because I am still a single player. Okay. I don't think I'll actually replay this exact scenario for the channel again, even though it would be slightly different, because, well, you've all seen the story. I may at some point decide to do another one of these for the channel. However, it seems exponentially longer. One of them in particular, the fourth of the 4 original ones given, can take up to 6 hours long. Yeah, that would be like an 87-part series for the channel, and would take up my dining room table possibly for months. But possibly one of the other ones at some point. As it is, I'm not sure what I'll be doing next. I'll probably take a little break between games anyway. But yeah, I will be back at some point in the future. And, alright, Mandy got the hell out of Dodge. Yeah, so I hope, despite my not especially good playing, my strategy was severely lacking. I hope you all still enjoyed the walkthrough anyway. Thanks everybody for watching, and thanks for likes and subscriptions, and any comments that you've made. They're all appreciated and or helpful. And we will see you another time. So long for now. Hi everybody, Doug here. First of all, sorry for the jiggliness. I'm doing this without a tripod. First of all, sorry that it's taken so long to get this final video up. I actually did play the last couple of turns 6 days ago, and as you've seen, I lost. But I wanted to, before putting it up, add this little addendum rather than putting a mess of text in the video itself, because I realized I was in fact making a pretty massive gameplay error through it all, regarding every investigator's horror check. Everybody should just do 1 horror check per Mythos phase. 1, for whichever one has the highest horror rating, instead of every single monster within range. So I think that made for an especially catastrophic last couple of turns, as you've seen. So I just wonder if maybe I had a shot if I hadn't just played correctly. Oddly enough, I mentioned this to my wife, and she was pretty sure that the first time I played this ever with some friends, that I was doing it correctly. I don't know why I'm suddenly doing it wrong. Anyhow, the day after finishing the game, I did do a quick solo game off camera, just to cement in my head how to do it properly, and I did manage to actually win the scenario. So I can win this game, just not on camera. Anyway, so yeah, again, sorry for the delay. I will endeavor to be better in future. I guess that is about it. Still not sure what I'll play next or when. But we will see you again next time. Thanks for your patience and for subscribing and liking and everything, and we will see you later. Bye-bye.